everybody, I'm Miss Natural Life, and I have the husband.
How y'all doing?
With me. We are going to embark on a little journey for the next 14 days and do 14 days of love. We're going to do some daily vlogs, some fun things, and just share a little bit of our life with you guys, just in celebration of Valentine's Day and in celebration of just love in general, black love, all that business. So today we're going to start with the husband tag, and this is going to be part 1 for day 1, and it's going to be about our story. So we're going to answer the questions from the husband tag that relate to our story and how we fell in love and stuff.
Alright, well, you know, I know how we fell in love. We'll see if you know how we fell in love.
We'll see if he knows how we fell in love. Okay, so question 1 is, and I have my trusty iPad here with some of the questions that we're going to answer. Question 1 is, where did we meet?
We met in college in the year 2000.
Yes.
The beginning of the millennium. Actually, August of 2000.
Yes, August of 2000. We were both in school on a singing scholarship, and I met him in the vocal ensemble at the first day of practice.
I bet you don't know the date and the time.
Do you know the date and the time?
Don't try. I'm asking you.
You don't know the date and the time.
I know the date and the time. You don't know the date and the time.
I'm going to just let y'all know that if I just, that's how we roll, okay? I'm just kidding. Okay.
The time was 4 o'clock.
Yes, it was 4 o'clock because it was rehearsal.
That's what I'm saying.
But you don't know the date. Anyway.
The date was Sunday.
Next question is.
What?
Yeah, the date was Sunday.
I know this.
Okay, you get the cool points. I'm not saying you didn't know.
I know what I'm talking about.
Okay. The next question is, what was your first impression of me?
Do I have to say that?
See, we have argued about this because he was mean to me when we first met. We were not friends, okay? I could not stand him at all.
Okay.
He was a jerk. He was really mean to me. I'm not lying. And he's not going to lie. He's going to tell you the truth that he was mean to me. What was your first impression?
When you walked in the room that day you talking about?
See, he don't even want to answer the question. Yes, that day. What was your first impression?
Do I need to say what I was going to say?
I don't know.
You remember what I said that day? Because I don't want that person to see this one day.
Well, don't see. What was your, just in general, what was your first impression?
I was like, oh Lord, another black girl.
That is not true. Come on, tell the truth. Come on.
I mean, I guess my first impression was when I actually saw you. I was like, inside of me, you know, I was like, okay, she looked pretty good. All right.
She looked pretty good.
You know.
But
there were some things that, you know, I was kind of skeptical of due to past situations and people. So that's kind of what I thought about. I ain't gonna mention all of that because, you know, I don't want people to actually see this.
He basically didn't think I was black enough. He thought I was some imposter black girl. A black girl that wasn't really black because I speak like I have some sense, and we were actually singing classical music. So it's sort of like, oh Lord, here comes another one of them, and it really wasn't like that.
All right, I'll go for that. That's a good way. That's a good way to word it, baby.
Yes, I'm not that black. Okay, I'm just
Let's move on. You know, you can talk all day.
Whatever. Okay, so what was our first road trip?
Our first road trip?
Technically our first road trip.
Oh, that was to the beach.
To the beach. Okay, so backstory. He was really mean to me whenever
before the beach.
We, you know, started, you know, being around each other. We were in the vocal ensemble singing. We were on a scholarship group. And he really wouldn't talk to me. He had a roommate, and I would talk to his roommate and stuff. We had some classes together. But he was just really mean to me. And it turns out that somebody had a slight crush on me.
I wouldn't call it a crush. Yeah, I just thought she was cute. You know, I was trying to make a little player move.
Whatever. He wasn't trying to make a player move. He had a girlfriend.
Wait till you hear how it goes.
No, he had a girlfriend. girlfriend, and he told me, you told me what? That you had a girlfriend and you didn't want to catch feelings from me.
Right. I mean, you know, I gotta be a loyal, honest, faithful man.
Yeah, so I have to say he's a good guy.
So I had to play, you know.
So he was mean to me. He never would talk to me at rehearsal. I would cuss him out sometimes because I just didn't like, I just thought, why are you being mean to me? Like, I wasn't checking for him or nothing. I just don't meet a stranger and I'm nice to everybody, and I don't like when somebody's being mean to me. So we were like kind of arch enemies. And so our first road trip, we had to go sing at the beach. In Myrtle Beach, I think. We had to go sing, and I was late as usual to the bus, and I was gonna have to sit on the hump. And I was asking everybody, can I sit on window seat? You know, would they let me squeeze in? And nobody would. And I didn't even ask him because he's normally mean to me, and he was like, I'll let you sit by me. And I was like, whatever. You can sit over here.
You know.
And so he let me sit.
She asked everybody else on the bus, and nobody gave her the seat. And then I said, I'll let you sit by the window.
Yeah.
You know?
So
player card.
Whatever, you were not a player. So that's where we began being friends. On that beach trip, he let me sit on the window seat and didn't make me sit on the hump. And we started talking and getting to know each other. He still had a girlfriend. He was respectful. You know, there was no shakiness.
But by the end of the trip, she was laying back on my shoulder.
Whatever. So technically, our first road trip was in college to the beach. Okay, the next question. Where was our first kiss and how was it?
First kiss was outside of residence hall on the college campus in front of your dorm. It was curfew was over. I walked down, you know, we just had a long conversation and everything, and then, you know, I was real smooth with it.
He was not smooth with it. We were nerds, and we literally had nerds because I had a bunch of Valentine candy left over. Remember the nerds?
I don't remember. I don't remember the candy.
The nerds. We had nerds in our pocket, and so he did walk me down from my room, and it was weird because
I do remember the nerds.
We were best friends, so we didn't just jump into it like, oh, you're my boyfriend or whatever. It was like real slow, and so I had some nerds in my pocket. I gave him the nerds. I was like, it was so awkward, honestly, for me. It was like, I don't know, like, what if we mess this up? You know, he's my best friend, and we both ate some nerds, the little mini nerds. And then when we started to kiss, it was funny because we had to start over like 3 times because we kept laughing. It wasn't like the romantical movie kiss. It was really hilarious.
I mean, we'd known each other for like 2 years before we got all these feelings, and they all came out. We were just being friends, and then the feelings came out. You know what I'm saying?
So when we kissed, it was like we kept trying to kiss, and then we laughed. It was really funny and really awkward, but
it was.
You know, it was still special.
I felt like a man that night.
When we actually kissed, it was a nice kiss. So, first thing you noticed about me?
I'm supposed to. I can't say that on camera.
Why?
You remember what I told you?
No. What's the first thing you noticed about me?
Well, let me come up with something big.
No, tell me. Tell me in my ear. Oh, we ain't gonna answer that question. We're not gonna answer that question. Okay.
I told y'all. That was the first thing I noticed.
Did you know that I was the one?
Not right off the bat. No, I didn't know right off the gate you were the one. I think most people say they, you know, love at first sight, all that stuff. I mean, could it happen? Yeah, it can happen, but you know, it wasn't a right away thing. I mean, we were friends for a while, so I'll say no, I didn't know right away.
Neither did I. I didn't know at all, actually. And when he proclaimed his love for me, I was like, for real? Like, you love me for real? What do you mean? So, the next question is, who said I love you first and where was it?
It was probably me saying I love you first.
He said I love you first.
I don't remember where it was, but it was probably me saying
It was in my dorm room. We were talking.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah. We were talking about what are we gonna do? Like, we're best friends and we don't want to mess it up. And
I was like, I love you. I love you, girl. Can't you see that I love you?
He really was like that. So he said,
what else do I got to do to tell you I love you?
No, all that would know that. All right, so how did you propose to me?
I I had to set it up. I worked hard, very hard to get the ring. Very, very hard.
Worked really hard.
And got the ring that day.
You got it that day?
Yes, I picked it up that day.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you got it that day.
Well, I had to, do some special, some last minute things on it.
Okay.
But I got the ring that day, went and picked it up. We had invited some friends to, it was a birthday party actually. It was one of my friends' birthday parties, and we went there, and
I was sick that day.
Yeah.
Because we went to church that day, that morning, and I was sick. And we were supposed to go to the birthday party, and I didn't want to go because I didn't feel good. So I'm laying in my room, all busted up looking, just like, and he's like, "You gonna go? We gotta go. We can't miss the party." It was at a restaurant, and so he made me go. So I threw on this ugly little black sweater and some hoop earrings, put my braids in a ponytail, no makeup, looking busted, and went to the restaurant.
And at the restaurant, I'd already talked to everybody. Knew what was going on.
And all of my friends, all of our friends were there.
Everyone knew what was happening. They knew what was going down. We got to the restaurant.
Except me.
Had to get the waitress. I got everybody involved. Waitresses, cooks, everybody was ready. People around us, everybody's excited. Like, oh my goodness, I can't wait.
I had no clue, and didn't feel good. I hadn't eaten. I was feeling like lightheaded a little bit, and one of our friends asked him to, say something, before everybody ate, and talk about the friend and whatever. So he stands up and starts doing this speech, and I didn't really care. I wasn't even
hear a word that I said. Nothing.
Okay, they brought the salad out, and I hadn't eaten all day because, like I said, I wasn't feeling good at all. And when they brought the salad out, I was like, oh, and I got really hungry, so I started cutting my salad so I could be ready to eat after he finished talking.
Nothing.
And praying. And he was talking about something, friendship and people being special, loved ones, something. I wasn't paying a lick of attention. And all of a sudden, he's like, something, what did you say? Like,
I don't remember what I said.
Something about love and something, and then he turns to me and he's like, and I love you and something, and I'm like, I freak out.
She pushed away from the table. Here I am, I dropped to one knee.
She dropped to one knee and I'm like, and all the camera flashes, our whole friends, all of them had cameras under the table. The wait staff from the restaurant comes all out. It's all these people, camera flashing everywhere, and I'm like, I have the napkin to my face, and I'm trying to. The chair had napkin to this. Yeah, the chair had wheels on it, and I'm like wheeling back, and he's like pulling me forward, like, "Are you gonna marry me?" And I'm like, "Yeah." It was so crazy.
She didn't know what was going on. Not yet. Have you ever met someone that almost missed their own proposal?
Yeah, that was me. That was me. So I said yes, and they clapped, and it was great. But I do not know the speech and the wonderful things he was saying. I didn't even hear. I wasn't paying attention. I was working on my salad.
I don't even know now. I know it was a good speech.
It was a good speech, but everybody said it was. So we got some really good pictures, some surprise shots, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Ran outside, called my parents, but because they knew too. He had already asked for my hand in marriage.
I'm old school. I had to ask Dad first. I wouldn't just pop up and do it. No, I asked her dad. My dad, talked to me for a little bit and said, gave me the steps. You know what marriage is. It's a long commitment, and her dad just walked me all the way through, and then he gave me the blessing. So
we knew we were going to get married. He just hadn't officially asked until that day, but it was one of the best days of my life. It was hilarious.
What if your dad would have said no?
I don't know what we would have done did. What was our first date? He gonna get it wrong. What was our first date? Official first date. Man, he gonna get it wrong. Watch. What was our first date?
Oh boy. Hold on, how come I'm the one answering all the questions?
It's the husband tag. You supposed to answer the question.
Well, we need to change it to the wife tag.
No, because the wife knows the answer. Come on.
Official first date.
Official first date. Where was it?
Give me a second. Give me a hand.
You don't remember anything?
I'm trying to think.
Okay, because we hung out all the time, but when we started dating, like I said, we were very much just friends. But we decided to go on a date, and we planned it and everything for my birthday.
Oh, we would. It was the park.
Yeah, we went on a walk around the park.
Went to the park
and fed the ducks and did the paddle boats and stuff, and then
we went to. Then we go to a restaurant that night.
We went to eat. Where did we go?
Tuesdays.
No.
Applebee's.
You remember?
Ruby Tuesday and Applebee's kind of the same thing sometimes. But I remember.
Yeah, we went to Applebee's and they had those tall cakes, remember, in the big wine glasses, and we shared a tall cake, a chocolate tall cake, and it was just really cutesy. We didn't know what we were doing, but it was fun.
It was good. That food was good that night too. Now that thing back.
You gonna remember the food, right? More sensitive and who's more romantic?
I'm both.
You're more sensitive and more romantic?
Yeah.
You're more romantic.
You don't think I'm more romantic?
No.
Okay.
You are romantic, but you're not the most of the two of us.
Excuse me? What have you done that's romantic?
I just booked our Valentine's present.
Okay, it's 2013. Let's go.
Okay, Valentine's when we were dating. The whole scavenger hunt and all that I did.
Did that too.
And all the cards with the
you don't remember
with the monkey and the bear, the lion.
Okay,
I made all these cards for him with little poems.
You're right.
He does put notes on my card and he gives me flowers.
Yeah, I mean, but no, you're right. I give you that.
I'm the more romantic one. He goes along with it.
I gotta start pulling some stuff out of my bag. Of tricks.
Yeah. And you think you're the more sensitive one? Yeah, you are.
When you're talking about sensitive, what do you mean?
It doesn't say.
I'm more sensitive, emotional when I think. I let my emotions come out.
Okay. No, you don't. Everything rolls off your back. Whatever. Moving on. When did you meet the family? You met my family like
I don't know. I met your family like
because my family would come down. I met your family like one of our first trips because we sang everywhere with the ensemble.
We did a tour.
Yeah, our parents would come on the tour and stuff. So he met my family way before there was ever anything. And his grandma was the sweetest. On the first time I met her, she promised me chicken and dumplings to come to her house and just say, "You're so pretty, you need to be with my grandson." And I'm like, he hates my guts.
Let me tell you something about my family. We went on this singing tour, and I got my uncles there, and I got my mom and my grandma and my sister and everybody. Everything, the same thing came out of everyone's mouth. Talking about mom. I remember my uncle, he was like, "Boy, you better marry her, boy. You better marry." I'm going.
And he wasn't even talking to me. Like, he didn't even like me then.
He's like, "Boy, you better marry her. You would go ahead and I go to somebody. I go to my other uncle. He was like, "Hey, you better marry her, boy. You better get her. She's good." Friends,
two guys. They were like my big brothers or whatever and stuff like that. So they were really I'm trying to talk. They would come to my house because my mom loved them. She's always like, "They're my sons," or whatever. And so, because my brother's a lot older, and so they kind of filled in the son thing. So they were always at my house. He was always at my house. It's always been a family affair. So, yeah. Alrighty, do you have a tradition?
No.
We don't have any traditions.
From our wedding stated we don't do traditional stuff. Everything we do is different. We don't
But we do have one tradition. We celebrate. We go to the beach, like for our anniversary every time.
Yeah, but we're changing that this year.
I guess it ain't really a tradition.
So that kind of changes.
I love him. Why did you fall in love with me?
How's she gonna
Last question for part one. Why did you fall in love with me?
Why did I fall in love with you? No, I just think you won my heart. You
How
know,
did I bring you up?
you were just you. You showed me there was more to me than just me. You know, you showed me that you remember how I used to be in school. You know. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say it. I used to have a big afro, walking around with my pick in my head, some jogging pants, and some Timbs. That was me. That was my life. That's why I was like, yo, I don't care about this, that, and the other. And then here comes this girl who comes along, and she's just like, you know what? You might look good if you clean yourself up. I was like, I was like, what?
You would be cute if.
You know. But then she got to see, you know, for me, I was like, I don't care, this, that, and other. But she got me to see the beauty in me. And I actually realized that she saw that. And I was like, wow, somebody can be attracted to me that way. You know, not that I wasn't ugly by any stretch of the imagination. But,
You weren't ugly by any stretch of the imagination.
but it was just one of those things where, you know, for you to look at me in that realm and not even think about, you know, it wasn't even an emotional thing. It was just somebody who took the time to care enough to say, take care of yourself is important. You look good. And, you know, that's what started me to falling for you.
Aww. I love you.
I love you too. This ain't fair that I don't get to ask these questions back.
Well, what question do you want to ask back?
I don't know, but I want to ask a lot of questions.
Well, pick one.
What made you fall in love with me?
What made me fall in love with you? Well, a lot of things made me fall in love with you. One is that you genuinely love me. It wasn't a I have to do for you or I have to be somebody that I'm not. It's that you accepted me just like I am. Without my quirkiness and my big mouth and my jumping around crazy ness, you know. You love me like I am. Bailey,
Okay.
you love me exactly how I was. You didn't ask me to change myself. You didn't ask me to be somebody that I wasn't. You asked me to just be myself. And you love me just like I was, without trying to change me, without trying to make me be some kind of molded idea of a woman that you thought I was supposed to be. You just love me. And I had never experienced anybody to just love me without any reservation, without any, you know, no judgments and no rules and no everything. You know, you already know my story about my insecurities and my different things. You didn't, you know, I didn't have to come to the table trying to be somebody that I wasn't. I could just be myself, and you love me just like how I was. And that's what made me love you first. I love you.
Love you too.
Okay guys, well that's it for part 1. Hope you enjoyed the husband tag, our story. And please join us tomorrow for the husband tag part 2, quips and quirks, to find out our funny stories, silly happenings, you know, personality flaws and all. It's just a little bit of fun. So thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Also put, you know, some questions in the bottom bar that you would like us to answer. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!